Hey everybody, so what's up? I am cooking up a storm over here and I wanted to just have you be part of my cooking extravaganza. So today's detox soup that we're going to be making is that Mexican detox soup. And of course, because I'm an old Portuguese lady, I can't just follow the recipe because that would be bad. So the recipe that I put on the Mighty Networks app is more like a inspiration. And I was just going to make a regular chicken soup, which I'm going to also zoom that and I'm going to share it on our app. But today I'm going to do the Mexican style soup and I'm going to be adding some things. So I'm going to be adding some cauliflower, some chopped cauliflower and some zucchini. In here, I have a mirepoix. So we're going to do onion and carrots and celery. So that's going to go in first. So in this pan right here, I have about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. In this pot right here, I started doing bone broth yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably use a half of this broth with the chicken that I already did yesterday. And once the soup is done, after all the vegetables have cooked, I'm going to put the broth in here. So we're just going to go ahead and pour in. So this is 2 onions chopped, 4 carrots chopped. So 2 onions chopped, 4 carrots chopped, and a half of a whole entire thing of celery. So I'm going to save the rest of the celery for the other soup that I'm going to be making. And that's just going to be a regular detox chicken soup. And I'm going to do like a chicken noodle soup, but instead of noodles, I'm going to do miracle noodles. So we're going to let that work down. I'm going to throw some salt, a little bit of red mint salt. And again, the way I learned to cook growing up is like you taste everything. I mean, you can follow a recipe, but I followed some of the best recipes like in the world for different things and thought, you know what, there's not enough salt or this needs something else. So I just kind of intuitively cook. I guess it's just like what I've always done. So I'm just going to use some fresh cracked black pepper. Say that 10 times fast. You know you're Portuguese when you have a gallon of olive oil. And then I have 2 14.5 ounce cans of organic diced tomatoes, fire roasted with green chilies. So I'm going to put 2 of these guys in. And then cumin, loves me some cumin. I'm going to throw in a bay leaf just because I like a bay leaf flavor in soup. And then I have some ground coriander. And then I have this stuff, it's called tahini. I'm not going to put this in the soup, but you guys can get this anywhere. And what it is, it's like, I don't know why, it's like one of my favorite things. This is so good if you have a margarita, like a keto margarita, and you take a little bit of like sticky stuff and you put this around the rim of your margarita, and it's like limey and spicy. And my mouth is watering just talking about it. I like to put this on top of things. So I think what I'm going to do is when I actually serve my soup, I'm going to serve it with a little bit of tahini, some fresh guacamole, some fresh sliced jalapenos, and some fresh cilantro, and some lime juice. So let me get in here. Let me get this working. I got this on pretty high heat, but you know, medium to high heat just to get your mirepoix going. So mirepoix is just a fancy French word for carrot, onion, celery. It's usually the base in French cooking of pretty much anything that's delicious, from soups and stews to like braised meats or whatever. So we're going to let this cook down. And then once that's done, I'm going to throw in my garlic. So I have a whole entire head of garlic here, just chopped and crushed. I have some jalapenos. I like mine spicy. This is 3 jalapenos sliced up, but you don't have to do that much. Go with what your spice tells you. And a whole entire bunch of cilantro. The cilantro And obviously all of the veggies in here are going to help detox you, but the cilantro is the number one, and the garlic, the number one chelators. So when you release your heavy metals during your detox, the cilantro is going to bind to the heavy metals and then excrete the heavy metals as waste. The one thing I always tell people is, if you're doing a heavy metal detox and you're not taking things like the zeolite and eating certain foods that, detox those heavy metals and then chelate them, what you're doing is you're just releasing the heavy metals into your bloodstream, and they're just going to go and reabsorb somewhere else. So it's kind of like pointless. It's kind of a waste of time if you do it like that. So these are working now. The other thing that I'm doing too is I just put it in the oven. Is I just roasted a whole entire head of it's called romesco, and it's this beautiful. It almost looks like a cauliflower. It's this beautiful spirally green cauliflower type thing. And what I like to do is I like to roast a whole entire head of it and then make tahini. Tahini is a Middle Eastern flavor. It's a sauce. It's made with sesame seeds. So I get organic sesame seeds ground. And then you do lime juice, cumin, and vinegar and a little bit of water. And you make this like delicious, my mouth is watering. Can you tell I'm fasting? You mix this delicious paste and you put it over the romesco, and you can serve it with anything that you want for protein, and it just makes like the nicest little dinner. So yesterday what I did was I roasted a bunch of chicken. So I did chicken thighs from Grassroots Co-op, and I did drumsticks, and I roasted them in the oven for about 45 minutes at 425 to like make the actual chicken, because there's something about chicken soup that starts with a roasted chicken. It just tastes better. That's just my personal opinion, and I have a pretty good palate. So you roast the chicken first. Then what I did was I did 4 32-ounce of chicken broth, organic chicken broth, and I put it in this big soup pot. And then I did I would say about a gallon of just regular everyday spring water and salt and pepper. And I just let that boil with the chicken that I had roasted. And I cooked that pretty much all day long. Then what I did was I retrieved the chicken and I took the skin off, and I just put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I threw the skin in the air fryer, and I made chicken chips. Delicious. Eat those plain or just with some guacamole. Perfect little snack. And then what I did was I just pulled all of the chicken apart and kind of shredded it up, and then put the chicken back in to the pot with the bone broth. And this has kind of been sitting. So I have a pretty good amount of bone broth. So once this soup is done, I'm going to turn off the Zoom. I'm going to come back on Zoom. I'm going to make just a regular chicken soup, kind of just like an everyday chicken soup, but I want to do it with, I actually have some red cabbage, which is going to be awesome. And I have some dinosaur kale that I chopped up. And I have obviously, the regular mirepoix, which is the celery, carrot, onion. And I have a bunch of baby spinach. And that's what we're going to do with a bunch of beautiful herbs: rosemary, oregano, thyme, sage, parsley. Okay, so this looks good. I'm going to throw in my garlic now and get that going. And I'm going to throw in my jalapenos. So garlic and jalapenos are going in. The other reason why I'm making 2 soups is because my husband can be very picky when it comes to like things that have spice. I'm Portuguese. I like die for anything spicy. It's like my favorite thing. So I'm trying to be a good wife and not make a freaking really spicy soup that blows his ass off his body. But everything blows his ass off his body, so I don't really know what's new, to tell you the truth. Let me get my water real quick. Right now, I don't know where he is. I thought he was in the other room. Okay, so we just want to work this garlic down. It was funny because I was on Instagram the other day, and I was talking about how we're doing this heavy metal detox, and I was making soup on Instagram, and I put that I had put a whole entire head of garlic And some broad was like, garlic is a neurotoxin and you shouldn't be eating that much garlic and all this shit. I was like, honey, do you know who I am? Mind your fucking business, bitch. Not trying to be rude, but mind your business. And the thing is that, if you do, you can eat too much garlic, but I think that the benefits to the garlic honestly outweigh any of the problems with garlic. Okay, so that looks really, really, really good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw in my cauliflower. So I chopped an entire head of cauliflower. And guys, don't worry about making everything like super bite-sized. I just love a nice rustic soup. And I have a whole head of cauliflower chopped. So this is like the size, the pieces, pretty big, pretty rustic. And then I have 3 zucchinis, just sliced into rounds. That's gonna go in, and that. And again, I'm just gonna work this down. I just love soup that is just hearty. And I found that Mexican chicken soup online, and I was like, oh, that looks so good. But then I like looked at the picture of it and I was like, that looks so pathetic. Like my husband would not be happy eating that soup. He'd be like, this is watery. Like if I wanted soup like this, I'd go to the Japanese restaurant and get like, clear soup or whatever. So I'm making it super rustic. Now we're gonna throw in the 2 cans of the diced tomatoes with the green chili. So again, fire roasted diced tomatoes, medium green chilies. This is Glen organic. I really love them. So we're gonna do 2 cans of this. Oh my God, it looks so good already. I'm pumped. I'm gonna work this out, mix it up well. Guys, I think this is gonna be so good. I'm like kind of excited for this soup. So today, when I break my fast, I'm gonna break my fast with my green shake. So again, 2 cups of unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. I like almond milk better. I like coconut milk too, but I'm doing almond milk. So 2 cups of almond milk, 6 leveled tablespoons of the Detox shake, the appleberry puree detox shake, and then 1 scoop of collagen. And if you want to, you can add to the blender a half a cup to a cup of wild blueberries, also a chelator, and just blend that up. And that's what I'm gonna break my fast with. And then after I'm done with that, about 3 or 4 hours later, I'm gonna have some of this soup. And then about 3 or 4 hours later, I'm gonna have dinner, which I'm gonna also make I'm gonna do pan roasted scallops with a Mexican slaw. So it's gonna be cabbage and some olive oil and lime juice and cumin and some chopped jalapenos and some other stuff in there for good measure. And it's going to be awesome. Remember, cilantro, like I said, is the biggest chelator. It's an awesome heavy metal detoxifier. That looks really good. I'm going to put in now 2. These are kind of pathetic. I'm going to put in 3 bay leaves because that guy was really little. But if you have pretty big bay leaves, 2 bay leaves. I don't measure stuff, but I eyeball it. So here I have my cumin. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of cumin. Again, you can do more, you can do less. And then I'm going to do, I love the smell, coriander. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of coriander. Coriander is when your cilantro goes to flower. When your cilantro goes to flower, it creates these like little pods that are called coriander. And all that is just ground down. So yummo. Okay. Taste. Yum, yum, yum. I'm going to hit this with a little bit more black pepper. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit more salt because now all the veggies are in there. So the worst is when you get soup that tastes like there's no salt in it. Oh my God, it aggravates me so bad. But no, I don't have that many problems in life to be aggravated by that. Okay, so this looks really good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a measuring cup. I'm gonna get a measuring cup and I'm just gonna spoon some bone broth into my big pot. So that's 4 cups, 5 cups, 6 cups, 7 cups, 8 cups. Okay, so 8 cups of bone broth in here. And then I'm gonna get my slotted spoon. Where are you, slotted spoon? Hold on, I'm gonna the dishwasher. Aha, there you are. My slotted spoon here, and I'm gonna just spoon into my soup a bunch of nice big pieces of chicken. Yum. I think my husband's been in here sticking his spoon in here because it looks like my chicken has kind of gone bye-bye. Like I said, I did this with thighs and drumsticks, but you could do it with the breast. You could do it with a whole chicken if you wanted to. Whatever feels good to you, honestly. You could also do this with beef, or even ground beef would be really good, almost like a Mexican minestrone. Okay, that's good for now. And I'm just gonna stir it up. Oh my God, this, you guys, I'm telling you, this looks so good. Just working it out. And last but not least, I'm gonna put in my cilantro. Whole entire head of cilantro. Yummy. That looks so freaking good, guys. I'm pumped. I think I did a good thing today. This looks really good. Perfect. Oh my God. You guys are gonna love this. So I'm gonna let this cook. I'm gonna put the top on. I'm gonna let this cook down. And when it's done, I will post a picture of the soup. And like I said, I'm gonna put some more jalapeno, some more fresh cilantro, some squeezes of lime juice, so good, and maybe a little bit of the tahini. All right. Have a great day. I love you guys. Enjoy your detox soup.